Gonna be Chill Pills off the bat as a Frosty Death Knight versus Rogue. Immediate Kid in Shadows, Bones and Steel, sticking to those Outlaw literally guns as he's going for the pistol shot, stunned by Chill Pills, looking to pick up big damage, massive obliterates, but the Rogue vanishing out, grapple hook away. Death and Decay does get him out in the open though, and it's gonna be a couple of those howling blasts keeping Bones and Steel in play. As the man just trying to see if he can buy himself a little bit of a breather, blind to follow by the Death Knight, chains of ice onto the Rogue, trying to control him whenever his cooldowns are up. But Chill Pills right now, he just doesn't have big cooldowns for the moment. His Pillar of Frost not coming back up for about 30 more seconds. Maybe he can go for a random stun onto Rogue with a Remorseless Winter, lock in a couple of obliterates back to back, but for the most part right now he just kind of wants to play it super slow and steady. Chill Pills finally got some cooldowns, maybe some big damage, gouge immediately, but it's going to be able to break out of it, stun to follow, does IBF out of it. Bones will definitely need some defenses. The big damage out of the Frost Death that does get the Rogue super low, but he's able to vanish and reset. Outlaw Rogue does not have the vanishes of a Subtlety, but they do have cooldown reduction whenever they spend calm points into finishers. And Vanish is one of those abilities that does have some calm points, finishers, combos. Cloak of Shadows to follow, got himself a bit of a Blade Flurry, looking to pick up a bit of damage, try to see if he can just play super slow and steady versus Shield. Does not say gouge for long at all. It's going to be the Remorseless Winter stun, freezing the Rogue's Bones, letting Chill Pills get a couple of good hits here and there, as Bones of Steel does go for a killing spree, gives him a bit of defense, but also quite a bit of offense damage too. As he's going in for more pistols, ambushes to follow, cracking through Chill Pills' armor, Blade Flurry yet again stunned right after. Next stun onto Chill Pills could be very deadly though. Does Shadow Step off of a grapple hook? I don't really know if he wanted to Shadow Step. Gouge to follow, cheat death onto the Rogue, might not be in a great spot, trying to go for big pistols to follow, but I think Chill Pills may just have him, does end up cudgeling the Rogue at the very end, with Conan charging in immediately. Full Fury Warrior ready to go blind onto Conan, does go for the trinket. Chill Pills needs to use everything he can to survive this one. If that goal is still in play, you will want to expunge it for whatever life it has. But Chill's not really looking all the healthy right now. The only thing is really, never mind. I was gonna say not looking at healthy, but apparently this man is literally on full health. I was gonna say the only thing he's got is a death mark. Wait, was it a Warlock Hellstone? I might have been a Warlock Hellstone from Diabolicals, but actually kind of makes sense. Conan with a Sunder, big stun onto Chills, bleed to follow, does go in for the stun, and Chills does not really have big offensive damage yet, but he's still trying to see if he can tussle with Conan into a silence as the disarm comes out. But now Chill Pills should be free to just absolutely dumpster a bunch of oblits into Conan. May want to press defenses here. That's going to be him no longer able to go for disarm, does go for the big heal, stun by Chill Pills for a second, does not want to give Conan an opportunity to reheal, but the Stormbolt is just not going to let you out of that side whatsoever. Goes in for a Chain of Ice with a Human Racial, trying to reduce some of the damage taken by Conan, and Conan catching up quite a bit of healing at the end of the day though. It was a blind to follow as Chill Pills goes in for a death pack, just trying to see if he can survive the Furious Warrior and his Furious Onslaught. But the longer you stay away from Conan, the more healing this guy's gonna get. Second Wind is a beautiful talent for warriors. As long as their health does not take damage, they can heal. So you want to keep that Frost Fever on him at all times. Chain of Ice, but definitely as you round the band away from the warrior, hit him with a Frost Fever just to make sure that he's still just rotting down to at least some kind of a disease. Got to be Conan going in for big damage, so is Chill Pills. It's just going to be big haymakers versus each other, as this is going to be Chill Pills activating IBF, just trying to see if he can stay in there, maybe trying to see if he can just make a big play versus Conan. It's going to be AMS using every defensive available stun to follow, does have himself a ghoul active, trying to play around his cooldowns, but Conan got a lot of that survivability, looking for Bloodthirst. Oh, but Chill Pills just cudgels him. At the end of the day, he just goes in for Obliterate 1, Obliterate 2, just trying to see if he can get back-to-back obliterates. Now Seaver comes up next. The best Seaver can really do is maybe give him a poly, let him heal up to full or something. Seaver immediately going in for a little bit of that all the time. Stun to follow, trinkets out of it as the touch of the magic still rounds. Shield does have himself an AMS, but Seaver might just be able to burn through it very quickly. Stun onto, no, blind on Chill Pills. I was thinking that was stun for a second. Silent missiles to follow, and Chill Pills might be in a bit of trouble. Ring of Fire, what's that different? Even Seaver is just like, wait a second, that's not gonna work. What is that angle? Triples does get surrounded by the fire together with the Arcane Orb, silence on the Seamark, but I think at this point it's just over. Barrage should be able to take him out, does go for the grip, looking for this Death Strike. He's got himself Legendborn to give himself a little bit more healing, but at this point, there's only so much you can really do. Trying to maximize his value in terms of heals, does have a Death Pact available, should use it as soon as possible. Big Arcane Surge instead actually changes. I think an Arcane Surge might have done the work here. Triples at least gets himself out of that execute range. AMS back up in play, does have the AMZ. If you can somehow get to Seaver to exhaust all of his mobility, grip him back in and keep him controlled inside of an AMZ, that'll be amazing, as you can just unleash full onslaught of your Frosty Might. As Seaver trying to see if he can not get in there with chill pills, trying to see if he can play very careful around it. Throwing Arcane Orbs. Do those Arcane Orbs, like, if they stand next to the wall, will they still reach? I think they might. I think they would, wouldn't they? As Seaver just trying to see if he could get himself a little bit more time. By the way, their shoulders look fantastic. Those are really good looking. That color scheme and everything. Stun on the Chills does go in for a big blink. Seaver trying to make sure he doesn't get interrupted here. Chills does have a silence backup in case he wants to use it. May want to use it right here. Could be a good spot to do it right now, actually. All the time right now for Seavark, as Chills still has a touch of the magic on him for a little bit longer. Silence, but looks like Seavark has been able to avoid him into a Shadow Meld for just a second. Blind to follow. Does Chill have himself proper stun? Does have a stun. Blink available for Seavark. Does he have a grip? He does able to reconnect. Barrages are going to be huge for Seavark. Got himself Arcane Orbs back to back with those barrages. Intershift in power just to regen some cooldowns. Going to be that quick intro by Chilled, but it looks like the cooldowns are gone for quite a bit though. That might need to use everything here just to survive. This is a full burst out of Seavark right now. Missiles right after. He is in a zone for a moment, but as soon as the zone fades, it's going to be over. AMS last second does go for the stun. Has himself a ultra time. He's going to go for an interrupt, but a Fire Blast takes him out at the end. Oh my goodness. Ace is going to be up next. Trying to see if he can clean Seavark off of all the buzz, but it's going to be a quick poly by the mage. Looking to slink back behind the grades over to his side of the arena. Maybe catch up a little bit of healing. For Hazer, he needs to be very careful. A lot of the times him playing versus Seavark, one single interrupt on Shadow locks him out of Disperse, and it's just the end of him. It's going to be quick interrupt by Seavark. Does go for the trinket out of the silence though, just to make sure he can disrupt Hazer, but he's taking a lot of damage from it. All the time lets him recover a little bit of health, but those tentacles making sure he doesn't come. Look at this two real tentacles. One is like a pet tentacle, isn't it? I was going to say for a second. I thought you got three. That was going to be real lucky. But those tentacles making sure he doesn't come out of that encounter unscathed. Got to be a bit of shifting power. Full cooldowns available for Seavark in just 10 seconds. He's got defenses coming back too. Still has Ice Block and everything available, so he's perfectly fine. As the Shadow Fiend joins the play. PI for Hazer wants to go for big damage. There's going to be spell stolen PI. Seavark trying to go for massive output. As long as Hazer doesn't cast shadow spells, he should be okay. Seavark trying to see if he can get around the corner versus Hazer, blasting him out. Silence, Ice Block on this one. Does he go for the cast? Hazer take a lot of damage. Fireflame's energy does not get interrupted just now. That could have been amazing. Stunner to Seavark has a blink for it. Doesn't go for interrupt just yet. Oh, but it doesn't even need to. It's just all the damage out of left field, out of nowhere. They didn't even give him a chance to press Disperse just because of how much damage he was able to commit at the very end of the day. My goodness. And Seavark trying to see if he can get away from the Succubus. Mortal sent in as Diabolical is going to be up next. Reflect up, and that's going to be Seavark actually bailing out of it entirely. Big Infernal dropping in. Actually kind of putting Seavark in a weird spot as he tried to go for a little bit of that Ring of Fire. Shift power is available, so he's trying to see if he can get some cooldowns back. Not going to be able to use too many defenses, but offenses for sure. He's got himself touching the magic, trying to see if he can just get ported. Does get ported actually in a different spot, but not the worst location possible. Touching the magic. It's going to be Diabolical with a big defensive. Does go in for a port of his own. As Seavark is going to reposition entirely. I think he's not all the time earlier, yeah? Put touching the magic on the Succubus? Is that what it was? Is that what it is? Succubus you see right after. Are you just trying to kill this thing? Is that why it has like all this arcane power around it? Soul Fire to follow. Lots of damage. Seavark trying to see if he can give himself a little bit of survivability. That Prismatic is going to actually give you quite a bit of healing. At 54% dampening though, it is limited healing, but it's better than no healing whatsoever. Seavark is going to have to find a way to get out of combat, sit down, get himself a bit of food, but a gate by Diabolicals, I think he's ready to just charge in. But it's going to be a Ring of Frost waiting for him. Succubus trying to charge in. That's going to be Seavark actually recovering quite a bit of health. It's going to go for a Power Surge onto the Succubus. Might just be able to eliminate it. That or use it as a primer to get some burst on the Diabolicals. It's going to be a Mortal sent in, but doesn't sit in that long. It's going to be a Trinket out of Seavark. Able to force Diabolicals back behind the pillar, taking quite a bit of damage either way. Touch to the magic is going to do quite a big hit either way though. and Seawork just trying to see if he can maybe slam out the succubus. Does end up killing it. Diabolical's having to quick summon another one just to make sure he's got a pet in play at all times. And for Seawork, I mean, he's just chilling. Freeze, got himself food, able to recover a lot of health, actually doing plenty healthy right now. Into missiles to follow onto Diabolicals, does have himself reflect, get himself frozen though, so maybe for Seawork this could be a good opportunity. Touching the magic to follow up from there, got himself barrages back to back, massive damage on Diabolicals. I don't even know what's hitting him. Ring of Fire to follow right after, more orbs to follow, just going in for barrages. It's going to be Chaos Bolts flying from gateways, more to call sent at Seawork, trying to go for Chaos Bolts, but Seawork got himself invis to at least reduce some of the damage of that bolt by, I think, what, 60%? Mad barrage onto Diabolicals. Is that enough? Let's see if I try to see if we can end this duel. Missiles right after into another barrage. I think it's just over. Oh my god. The executes at the very end are just brutal. I am loving it. That is so good. Oh my god. That is so good. There's a lot of damage on the Arcane Mage. Saikaru is up next as a Demon Hunter. I think it's actually might be a bit of a better matchup for Seawork. Demon Hunters are very similar to, not similar to Rogues. Easier, like an easier, much easier version than Rogues. I would say kind of close to a warrior, if anything. As Saikaru trying to see if we can lock down Seawork, does have Ice Block very soon. All the time, gives you a little bit of survivability. Could use the Ice Block to recover a lot of health. Mad damage on the Saikaru, able to punish him while keeping a distance, keeping a safe range versus the Demon Hunter. Could go for a barrage, stun last second for Saikaru, breath to disrupt the I-beam. Needs a barrage to get through the defenses. If you can do it, just slamming barrages back to back into the guy, into an Ice Block immediately versus Light Messiah. I don't know if he was gonna survive that hunt, and I think he might have panicked there with an Ice Block as well. But he needed to use the Ice Block versus Light Messiah anyway. That was gonna be the only way he was gonna catch up any healing. Polymorph spam onto Light Messiah as he's popping wings, not Crusade wings, so he's not losing too much by having him used up right here. Freeze onto Light Messiah, looks like able to avoid it with a bubble. Let's see if he needs to find a way to bail out of here. All the time available very soon. Does have images back up, is going to be able to go for a back blink as he's able to disorient Light Messiah a little bit. Got himself all the time, keeping himself plenty healthy, blind to follow, trinkets out of it, interrupt on Unholy. Wait a second, it's an interrupt on Unholy. That could be the end to Light Messiah right now. Barrages it. Oh my god. Oh, he only used bubbly, didn't even matter. Oh my goodness. Oh, what just happened? Is that 5? Man, it's gonna get himself banned. I did not think he was gonna do it. That intro was so good at the end. My goodness, the Demon Hunter. I mean, a mage can run circles around the guy the entire time, keeping a safe range, just barraging him, just punishing the guy. Oh my goodness. Banned just as immediate as like, banned. Get this guy out of here.